Hi, this is Emma Penrod today with TooeleTV. And here today we are speaking with Lance and Linda King, who are Stansbury residents and local reality television stars after having had their third child on Born in the Wild, which was a show about having your baby outdoors. So this was not your first home birth. You had first a hospital experience and then chose to have a home birth without medication. Why did you make that decision?
So my first one was the hospital, and then I kind of transitioned after that one was also a natural birth, and so I kind of gained confidence, and then I moved on to a birth center birth, and then I felt even more comfortable, and so then by my third birth, I felt like I had gained enough knowledge and my background as a doula and a nurse, I felt like I could, with Lance and my midwife, have a safe outdoor home birth.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what's your reasoning? What's the desire to have a child at home?
At home and outdoor birth, I just wanted to be able to empower women to know different kinds of options that they had and that they could do safely. Like I said, we had a midwife and she's been trained and brings all the emergency equipment. I think a lot of people don't realize how much safety equipment that they actually bring with them. And so we just wanted to give people more options. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did having a natural birth, especially outdoors, differ from being in the hospital?
Since I had a natural home birth, like without medication, and at the hospital also, it was actually very similar. I think people think it would be totally different, but since I had a bed at the hospital and then I had a blow-up bed out in the tent up on the hillside, it was actually very similar. I imagine it'd probably be different for some women if they had like an epidural, but for me, I was able to move around the same, and he was able to support me. Actually exactly the same as we would if we were in a hospital. It just was a little bit more quiet and peaceful setting once we got up there, yeah.
And what was your response as the husband when she comes to you and says, I'm going to have my baby outdoors by the lake?
Well, the first thing that I thought about was cats and how they like to have their babies behind things and in secluded areas. And
quiet, yeah.
I think ultimately what made me feel comfortable with the idea, other than the fact that she'd had comfortable births, was the environment is just critical to make sure she's comfortable, to make sure that everything's safe. And initially, I wasn't too fond of the idea.
Yeah.
In fact, struggled with it quite a bit just because I didn't really want cameras filming, and I thought that would be a problem in creating that perfect environment where she felt safe and comfortable. But after talking with the crew and talking with everybody that would be a part of the creating that environment, I could tell that it would be a comfortable thing for her and that she would be able to do it.
Yeah, and we didn't know anyone who had ever done anything like that before, so it was kind of just new. And so, but once we figured out what kinds of equipment that we would need, as far as like everything that you have at a hospital, like how do you bring that up to where your birth location is? And that was kind of tricky.
All right, so we're back here now with Malia, who's now 3 years old. Three? She's 3. And so you talked about you wanted to do this to empower women. Why do you feel like it's important for women, even here in Tooele County, to understand that they have birth options?
You know, I wanted to have it with her up where it was calm and peaceful, and to have those kinds of birth options, because I wanted them to show them that they can do it. Like they can, if they want to have a peaceful, calm birth, to prepare, to study, read books, go to classes, and then just know that you have the power within you to be able to have a birth like that, even if it's at home, even if it's at a hospital. And so that was my hope. in doing this kind of a birth.
And talk a little bit more about what the preparation for your home births was like.
Yeah, so we were a little bit of birth fanatic preparers, I guess you could say, because with our first daughter, we actually read tons of books, and we, I think, took 2 or 3 different kinds of childbirth classes. And then as we gained confidence with that, we moved with my second birth. We took even more childbirth classes. And something that helped us a lot was actually the hypnosis, a lot like meditation. Yeah, say hi.
Hi.
Good girl, good job. And so that helped us to have a really calm, peaceful birth. It wasn't fearful. It was a little rushed. If you've seen the episode, we were a little rushed to get up there. But that's because it was so peaceful and calm at first, and then she just came so fast. I think hers was about 2.5 hours from birth, labor to birth. So it was really quick. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think was the most critical, as the husband, what was the most critical aspect for men to feel comfortable with having a home birth?
He's going to talk.
Well, I think Linda mentioned that there were a lot of books that we read. I think for me, it was important to understand more about how the woman's body operates. I think that was a tremendous thing. But for me, I had to scale mentally moving from the hospital to the home setting. So watching her in the hospital gave me confidence for the birthing center, which gave me confidence for Malia to be born in the wild.
Yeah. And what would you most like, your daughters to know when they get older and understand about this experience and the choices that they have?
You have a skirt like that.
She likes your skirt. I want them to know that basically it's in our DNA. I mean, every woman that is here that on the earth has been born from genetics that can actually be birthed. Like their mom survived, their grandma survived, and they can have a comfortable birth. And so I'm hoping that as a mother, they can realize that I did it, and they too can have a comfortable birth, and to know that they can also do it. And that's my hope for all women, is that they can do it because of their genetics. They can.
Right. Thank you very much, and thank you.
And
Thank you.
thank you.